Hey, this is Wilson. Um, as always, I'm joined by my two prestigious co-hosts, Shane Christopher Murray and Jason Big Mitch Mitchell. It's Monday night right now at 8:34 p.m. Um, the Lakers tonight defeated the Charlotte Hornets in Charlotte behind 43 points from LeBron James. So back-to-back monster games for LeBron after 47 he put on the Hawks. Uh, just a couple. What was that? Friday night or was it Saturday? I think it was Saturday, wasn't it? It was two.
My
It
days
was
are all
Friday.
messed up.
That was Friday.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was Friday.
Yeah. So
That's fine.
we'll get into that in a second. But before we do, I just wanted to say a few words about the, the the story that's kind of taken over the sports media at least tonight. A very serious situation out of Cincinnati tonight. It was a Monday night football game between the Buffalo Bills uh, and the Cincinnati Bengals, with serious ramifications as far as playoff seeding goes at the top of the AFC. And in the first quarter, a defensive back for the Bills named Damar Hamlin went to make a tackle on T. Higgins, and I guess he took a helmet to the chest. He got up and he goes back down immediately, fell on his back, and the medical staff came out and performed CPR on Hamlin for 9 minutes. Um, it appears that he went into cardiac arrest.
Wow.
There is a technical medical term for that specific type of injury to the chest or to the heart that triggers that type of cardiac arrest. Um, and like I said, 9 minutes of CPR. Everybody watching, the players on the field were completely torn up. Appeared to be very serious. Um, and right now, the latest word I saw on Twitter came from his somebody who was a good friend of his and his marketing rep. I think he said that he's in critical condition right now, but his vital signs are back to normal, and they put him to sleep uh, so that they could put a breathing tube in his throat. Um, so yeah, everybody's thoughts I think tonight are with the with young Damar Hamlin, uh, and the game was postponed, but of course nobody cares about that. I used the word serious like a little bit early, a couple of minutes ago, to describe like the ramifications of the seating and all that. But of course, it's not serious. It's just a game, and it's crazy because it takes something like this sometimes for you to remember that. For people remember that. I stress so much about the Lakers, and today I watched the Cotton Bowl, and USC they had a 45-30 lead, and they blow the game in the fourth quarter in the last minutes, and I was so upset. But it's just a game. It's like it doesn't matter. But it's just so ironic because if you watch the Cotton Bowl, you saw there was a part where there was a player who played for Tulane about a decade ago and 10 years ago in 2012. Well, a little more than 11 years ago now, I guess he suffered an injury and had to receive CPR on the field. And it's just amazing that would happen. They told that story, and then tonight this would happen to Hamlin, with him receiving, like I said, CPR for 9 minutes on the field. But yeah, once again, man, all thoughts are with Damar Hamlin, his family, and everybody affected. And I'll let you guys say your piece about it. Mitch, you can go.
Shane can go first.
Okay.
So yeah, prayers up to Damar Hamlin, believe his name. Yeah.
Yeah.
I, I, I didn't see the CPR part, didn't know that part, so appreciate that info that though. Yeah, I just when I saw him just get up and then all of a sudden drop, even though it wasn't the same thing, and it kind of gave me 6 Man vibes. Anybody remembers that movie? Um, where Kadeem Hardison went up for the dunk, and all of a sudden his heart stops and he falls down. Like it's like, even though Damar was more grounded, is that kind of like, I feel like his heart just came out for us for a second. So that was kind of crazy to see. So yeah, prayers up to him. When things happen like that, you gotta think beyond the game and think about the person, and you know, and then ask your teammates as a team to come together and play a game after that. That's a lot. So yeah, prayers up to them, and hope he pulls through.
Well said, Shane.
Yeah, man. I mean, just gonna piggyback off what you guys said. I mean, prayers up for this guy. It's wild to see. It's wild to see. Like he gets up, he gets up immediately, and then just goes down, man. It's so wild to see. And like you said, Anto, I mean, it just puts everything right back into perspective. I mean, it's only a game. It's only a game. This man's um, this guy's life is on the line, and then it's like you start to think about like people are tweeting about like their fantasy championships, and it's like, well, I mean, who cares? you
Yeah.
know, I mean, even though we do play these fantasy leagues for money, like this dude could lose his life. Like you can get that money back. Like there could, there's always a next fantasy season where you can come back. This dude can't get his life back. He's out there, he's out there living his, this is his dream. And who knows, how this could affect him living his dream. So prayers up to him. Hopefully he's able to recover from this, and hopefully he's able to continue living his dream.
Well said, Mitch. Now on to something that, as I said, really doesn't matter. The Lakers played a basketball game tonight.
Mhm.
Uh, as I said earlier, LeBron dropped 43. Um, this is just a few days or a couple of days after he put 47 on the Hornets.
The
Um,
Hawks.
Sorry, that's right, the Hawks. But 43 on the Hornets tonight, 47 against on the Hawks on Friday.
Mhm.
So you know, I mean, I don't know. It's like we moved to 16 and 21 now. Anthony Davis, I was listening to.
Mhm.
Who was I listening to today? Who was talking about situation with AD? But basically, Anthony Davis, he spoke to reporters after LeBron put that 47. Uh,
What'd he say?
he said that basically, did you guys
You
hear him
hear
say?
him talk?
Wow. Now listen, why would I want to hear him talk? I want to see him play. I don't hear nothing from him.
But basically, what he said is that there's a fracture in his foot, and also he has bone spurs in his foot that he didn't know about, and he didn't. I guess he wasn't feeling any pain, and then all of a sudden, when he hurt his foot against when he went up for that that play against Joker, it triggered the situation that we have now with him, where he's I know Sham said the other day that he won't be back until I think mid-January at the latest, at the earliest. I think he
Shams just
said,
said that.
huh?
I thought they said they were going to reevaluate him soon.
That's what they said at first, but yesterday I think Sham said it was going to be like mid-January before he would be back. So, you know,
Looked in
but that was,
reports.
but it had been kind of vague, like what exactly the injury was. So it's good to get some clarity on it. Mitch, what?
But
I guess.
let me add this. Also, he said though the pain has subsided, and
Right.
he's it's feeling better, but you just don't want to give a timetable and
Right.
disappoint anybody. But he
Right.
said it's pain free. So
Right. He's pain free. He's pain free, and he's not gonna. They're not gonna. He's not gonna get surgery at least during the season. Well, what is he? If he's not even in pain, why isn't he playing? Right. But
Right.
hey.
well, I mean, I feel like they want him to go through that process of you know the 1-on-1, 3-on-3, and all that, and see how it feels walking on it, then running on it, and so that's what I believe. But we'll see.
Mitch.
I'm tired of this guy, honestly, low key. I mean, like this dude. I mean, our whole season really kind of relies on this guy. I'm not like, if I was a betting man, I wouldn't bet on LeBron averaging 40 for the rest of the season at the ripe old age of 38. So we need this guy to come back, soon. Because LeBron's putting up big minutes, putting out big effort. I don't think he's going to be able to sustain it. And then, not being able to sustain it, we could lose LeBron to injury if he puts too much stress on his body. So, we need this guy to come help out LeBron.
What brings the other thing into question, like the front office, if you see something to pull the trigger on, pull the trigger.
Doesn't
Like
seem that they see anything though.
I feel like they do, but they being gun shy. Cause it's not a 100% sure thing. And I don't think they're gonna find 100% sure thing. Like there's gonna be something where like it could be really good, but it has some chances of going bad, type of thing. But they want that sure thing, I don't think he's gonna find it. And just even though he's a good player, that Bradley Beal thing, all these rumors seem like that feels like a pipe dream right now. Plus he's injured too. So, but yeah, if you see something to pull the trigger on, pull the trigger.
As far as his timetable, initially, the last report I saw on his timetable was the pain had subsided.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they were going to reevaluate him in 7 to 10 days. That's the last I had heard. And this, today should be coming up close to like the seventh day or something like that. Like we got to be closing in on the seventh day at least. So, uh, I'm curious to see what they say when they reevaluate them. If they really are gonna, hold to that reevaluation time, that the reevaluation timetable at least. Because I definitely saw the Shams initial report, but then Woj, they're in a little battle right now. So Woj came out and later on with the seven, they're gonna reevaluate, I guess, and
Yeah, I
let's see what they
listened to
say.
that.
Let's see what they say, man. This guy is like he really is like Mr. Glass. It's wild, wild to me.
It was Trevor Lane I was listening to actually. I'm like Shane Murray. Shane, did you listen to Trevor Lane today on his?
Oh yeah, I just got through listening to him.
Right, so that's what I was.
Turned
He
into
did
Mr. Pessimist.
huh?
So he turned into Mr. Pessimist.
Well, I don't know. I heard him. He did a one man. It was like 30 minutes, I think, today, and
Yeah,
he
earlier they just did 48 minutes.
okay. Yeah, well, I heard the one this. I listened to it this morning, and and he went through. He talked about it what AD said, to the reporters, and then he went through like the schedule and tried to see, can they go 4-4 through their next 8 games, and then maybe AD comes back at that point. Can they play 500 and just kind of hold the fort up until that point? But But LeBron made some statements too. I think after that 47-point game, he made some statements to reporters, basically saying that he doesn't want to finish his career playing on a bad team. He wants to still compete for championships.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, man, he always wants to make these little kind of subtle,
passive aggressive.
Right, talk with the front
Aggressive.
office. But bro, talk to your boy, man. Talk to AD. Like I said, man, I think me and Mitch were saying it last week. The roster is fine. And you can't look at the front office and try to put this on the front office when your best player is once again for the third straight season, he's missing significant time with an injury.
I wish you tell Twitter that, because bruh.
And then look at the front office and try to act like the front office needs to do something. Bro, you got a team. Talk to your boy. Tell your boy to man up and go out there and play basketball that they're paying him $40 million a year to do.
LeBron was the one that wanted AD.
Yeah.
This is the guy he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm with you on that one. Hey man, don't talk to me. Talk to your boy.
Exactly. I wonder if he'll do that though. Probably not.
Probably not. So since he's not going to talk to his boy, he should talk to himself and stop conserving his energy on offense and maybe start playing some defense.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'll lead to some more consistent winning if he actually if he goes all out on defense. That could lead to more consistent winning, I think.
Well, the thing is now, I believe last time I checked, he was 500 points away from Kareem.
He's less than that.
Well, yeah, he was at the free throw line. I saw the 500 mark, so he's less than that now. So now he's
then he hit the free throw.
on that.
Then he hit the free throw, so he's 499, and that was he was maybe at 38 at that point. So
so he's laser focused on that right now. Then he had his wife and mother at the game, so you got to show out for them.
In Charlotte, or are you talking about in Atlanta?
I think they came to Charlotte too, but they definitely was in Atlanta. But I think they came to Charlotte too. I heard they was there.
Did you guys see where LeBron was practicing those 3-point hook shots before the game? And somebody said, why is he doing that? And we all know why he's doing it. I think it was implied in the tweet that the person sent. We all know why he's doing that. He's going to get 1 point away from Kareem. He's going to try to break Kareem's record on a sky hook, my brother. That's exactly what he's going to do. Because he doesn't like Kareem because of whatever Kareem that was that Kareem said about him. Kareem has been critical of him.
Although Kareem just recently came out and said that he's pulling for him to get the record now, which I don't know how true that is.
Okay, but I don't think LeBron has forgiven Kareem for what Kareem said. So LeBron's
he probably hasn't, but
so Kareem, they said it during the broadcast tonight that Kareem tweeted 38 is the new 38,888.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I saw that.
I don't know if you know, Shane Murray, but that would mean he's breaking the record. I don't know if you caught that. I know you don't know how to read between the lines normally, so I'll help you out.
Here we go. But
I'm trying to be helpful.
Let me give credit where credit is due. Pat Bev, shot finally came around. So yeah. About time shot finally came around. So yeah.
Shane Murray has turned over a new leaf in 2000.
I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. He's trying to come out whatever limited skills he has. He's trying to come out.
Wow,
So
about Pat Bev, listen, his shot is starting to come around. There's no doubt, and this man is feeling himself. And when he's feeling himself, then he starts taking bad shots. I just need him. Listen, I need him to stop taking those bad shots. I need him to just spot up and keep hitting those shots that he's been hitting over the past 5 games, or 7 games, or whatever. But yeah, Pat Bev, listen, you're finally hitting your shots, and I'm loving seeing it. Your defense is coming around. But brother, don't be doing no like step back threes. That's not your game. Like spot up, hit your open shots, and keep it simple, man. Like, come on, keep it simple. Play hard defense, knock down your open shots. You don't need to be stepping back. Like, we got LeBron. He does enough stepping back and logo threes for the whole team. Like, so just take simple shots, man, please. And I'll follow suit with Shane Murray because listen, Troy Brown Jr. must have heard all the trash I've been talking about him because he's starting to hit shots in the last couple games. What he had like Troy Brown, he had like 4 threes tonight or what? He had 12 points.
I didn't even notice Troy Brown, to be honest. But
Mitch, what you mentioned Thomas Bryant in your display name?
Yeah,
what did
he
I know
stepped up.
He's been an animal.
He had 19 and 17 against the Hawks. What did he have tonight? Do you know?
He had
15 and 13, I think.
He had 18 and 15.
18 and 15.
Wow.
He's been an animal. He's had 7 out of 9 double doubles in the last 9 games. Wait, 7 double doubles last 9 games or something like that.
Definitely 5 out of 9, but it's still good nonetheless.
He's been picking up.
He stepped up. But let me get back to get on my boy real quick. He's been disappearing lately. Lonnie Walker.
Yeah.
We need you, bro. Where the hell have you been?
He injured now. That's wild. But
bruh, I do. He was balling so much to start the year. Now he's just slowly, disappearing. Like he gotta get back into it. So
yeah,
Austin Reeves, Austin be booging a little bit on him.
He be what?
He be booging on his defenders. So saucy.
Shane, did you hear Trevor Lane say that they need to stop playing these small lineups?
Yep, I heard him, but he's not the coach, so.
He had some analytics that seem to show that when they have Austin Reeves up to 2, it's always pretty much a positive situation for the Lakers. But I'm not a big analytics guy.
Yeah, but I mean, they just got JTA back, and JTA just finally started like giving them some positive minutes. So
definitely not tonight, but last 2 games before this, his defense has been elite.
Like, so coach can only do so much when like your best player be out all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then you didn't even he had it say a little bit, but he didn't pick these guys 100%. So
just a quick touch up. Yeah, Troy Brown Jr. had 12 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and Thomas Bryant did indeed have 18 points and 15 rebounds with 2 assists.
Solid night for both.
Indeed.
Oh yeah, y'all thoughts on? I believe I sent it up a little bit a while back. Austin expected to make more than Austin Caruso this summer.
You mean Alex Caruso?
Alex Caruso. Excuse me.
How much did Caruso get again? Was it like
$5 million a year?
No, he did not.
It's about 4.5 a year.
No, he got more than that.
More than that. What did he get? 4 for 36 or something like that?
I thought he got 4 for 36 sounds about right.
That's $9 million a year.
Definitely is.
I think it was like $8-9 million a year for Caruso, but Reeves, I read that too. That it's going to cost for them to keep him. Hopefully, they don't make the same mistake. But that Caruso, man, is he even playing right now for the Bulls?
Yeah, he's playing.
Okay. They're still missing Lonzo.
Yeah, he's making $9 million a year. Caruso's making $9 million a year.
Okay. So they say he's expected to make at least $10 million a year.
Yeah. But I like Reeves. He's okay. But I like Caruso more. But Reeves is in that mold.
It depends on free agency goes. But yeah, he should be able to stay.
I mean, Austin is starting to do some things. I don't know if I want to lose him. So, I mean,
The thing about it is that none of this stuff matters if Anthony Davis is going to
that's
miss
true.
30 games and 40 games a year and then not
That's
be
also true.
available
Yeah.
when we need him the most. You know, so that's the thing about this game. You know, and early in the season, I was starting to think um, that like the game was shifting and it was becoming more about the role players almost and building your team like from the bottom up. But like teams like Utah and Portland have kind of come back to earth a little bit, and it's I guess it's still a stars league, a superstars league.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, man, Anthony Davis, bro, you're just letting everybody down in Los Angeles. And like I said, I believe that. So he's in year 3 of his deal. I bet you, and he's got he signed a 5-year deal very astutely because as he said himself, with his injury history, he wanted to have that security. I
Mm-hmm.
bet you when he gets to year 5, if he was in year 5 of his
Fall out.
contract right now, right, and he's on another contract year, he wouldn't be sitting out right now, you know. So we got to wait until year 5 when LeBron is in year 22 if he's still here, and then maybe we'll have a chance because maybe AD will like try to play the whole season or play at least 70 games maybe. But he ain't gonna do that unless he absolutely has to. Um, Anything else on the Lakers tonight?
Yeah, man. Do y'all find it odd that he's traveling with the team? If since
I've been
this
thinking
injury is
about
so
that, and then it's not
so
a good look to
serious.
see him like keep keying on the bench. Whoever he talking to, and you say you have a foot problem, and you actually sitting like on the foot instead of having it laid up somewhere.
He's not even wearing a walking boot.
Right. So there, that's not really a good look. But at the same time, if he's not there, there are gonna people gonna say like, "Why ain't you supporting the team? Da da da. Why you disappeared on
I
us?"
would rather he not
He's
be there. Him being there
insane.
it makes me feel like,
I don't want to
okay,
see
you're
him.
there. Like, what is wrong with you? Is there anything wrong with you?
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm
You
thinking. Like,
traveling with the
Yeah.
team? Play. What's wrong with you?
And it's and
But
it's crazy, like, cause like not us, but like the energy around the team as far as like Twitter and everything seems so gloomy, and this is over. Like we still in the thick of things with everything. Like
it don't matter unless AD is healthy.
yeah, as far as advancing, but in terms of like being in it and giving him a shot to make it back
What's
for
the
a
point?
playoff run. Hmm?
What's the point?
Once you get in, like anything can happen. It's just getting
No,
there.
this is Anthony just said it. It's a stars league. If AD is not healthy, don't matter.
nothing matters if AD and LeBron aren't healthy. And AD and
True,
LeBron
but
has been, he's put on his cape. You know,
Like this
not
isn't college. Like this isn't college. It's not a one game. It's not one game and done. There's 7 game series, meaning the better team is gonna eventually win. Like could hypothetically, AD doesn't play another game this season, right? And the team rallies, we make the play in. We could win the play in.
hmm
I could see that. Like we could like this team can win games. Don't they I don't they can't win a series. Not without AD.
no. I saw Nate McMillan. Speaking of the
unless
Hawks,
you make a move, unless you make a move,
no.
I don't know what move,
What
but
move can they
you
make?
make a move.
Nate McMillan was saying he's coaching the Hawks right now,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and he was saying that you know he's been having some trouble communicating with this new generation of players. He said it's a different generation of players, different from the guys he played with, and even than the guys he coached. Remember, Nick McMillan had his first head coaching job with Seattle all the way back in 2000. So that was still kind of, they were making money by then. They were making $20 million a year. But you could still coach, you could coach them. You can't coach today's players, and you can't even depend on them to play. And Matt Barnes would say that about McMillan, how he didn't think that McMillan was going to finish the season because he can't, relate to the modern player. And I just think it's unfortunate because Nate McMillan is a good coach. And it's just crazy how in today's NBA, the players are so coddled. You can't coach them. You can't challenge them. You can't get them to play if they don't want to play. And it really just makes for, I think,
and he has a very, very young team. And the fact that he's going at it with Trae Young.
Yeah, it's very disappointing to hear because it's got to be. I know we're just speculating. We're just speculating, but the whole situation. It's got to be he's got to be butting heads with Trae. So that's very disappointing to hear. And then after hearing all that, and then watching the Lakers versus Hawks, y'all notice Trae was. He's every call he's complaining to the refs or something like that. Has he always been this whiny, or am I just?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
yeah. He's always been like that.
I guess I'm just now noticing
that. But I never know Trae to skip a game like that, like the way he did, or
yeah,
and then have coaching
prima donnas, man. The inmates are running the asylum, and it makes me miss David Stern.
And I think even though they wanted to team up, I feel like DeJounte Murray's having a little bit of personality effect on Trae.
How so?
Okay. How you get around a certain one of your homeboys or certain one of your friends, and it kind of bring out a different side of you, or you act differently than do what you normally would do. I feel like that's happening with Trae and DeJounte. I feel like they kind of turn it into they kind of Baz brothers together, and they kind of get to in this clowning mood and a showboating type of thing.
DeJounte's the bad kid who rubs off on the good kid.
That's what he's saying.
I ain't saying it like that, but
that's what you said. That's what you just said. You said DeJounte Murray.
I didn't want to call it good kid, bad kid, but it's it's for his personality is rubbing off on Trae, and he kind of bringing out the side of Trae that you don't see. You don't see it like that.
I'm reading between the lines, and you just said DeJounte Murray is the bad kid, and now Trae Young is acting an ass. That's what you just said.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You put in the words I did. Okay. Yeah. I'll put it like that.
I'm just reading between the lines, man. Sorry.
Yeah. That's basically it, because they doing all types of showboating and talking shit, and Trae did talk some shit, but he didn't talk the shit he talking now.
Oh, he's talking different type of trash now, huh?
Yeah, they actually well, DeJounte did it, but they actually slapping people on top of their foreheads when they shoot, and
in the league. I know they were doing that in the summer.
Yeah, he did it once. He did it once in a game.
He slapped somebody on the head.
Yeah, and they actually came back on him and won.
That's odd. He didn't get suspended. You can't just tap somebody on the head. That's taunting.
Yeah, he tapped him. They ain't doing shit like that. So I'm. And Trae didn't have these issues before with McMillan. So
that's why it's surprising. That's why it was so surprising to hear. Maybe you're right. Maybe DeJounte Murray is the bad kid in class, and he's rubbing off on Trae.
And there were reports that McMillan was thinking about resigning before the Lakers game. So
I heard that.
I don't blame him, bro. I wouldn't want to coach these young kids who just get to do whatever they want to do.
These young Thundercats.
McMillan is a guy from he's literally from a different era. He's the last coach in the league probably who's like him. Even guys who like Jason Kidd, who played in that era. Jason Kidd, has adjusted to this modern, player and knows how to coach him. He coaches Luka. I know Luka's not easy.
And then you got the Monty and Aiden situation. Like they go at it in the huddle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's also odd. I mean,
they didn't talk all summer.
It's like I heard. I mean, going into training camp, they still hadn't talked.
Yeah, and you just extended this dude, and he's supposed to be a future, and you don't want to talk to him. That's just not a good look.
I mean, it's good for us. I mean, it basically takes a team out of contention that could have been in contention, But if they're contentious in the locker room, or it's like that type of relationship between coach and star player, that's that's hard to go over.
Did you guys see? I know you guys saw, but Donovan Mitchell tonight somehow. Not only did he score 71 points, but he had like 10 assists too, which is crazy.
Yeah, man, that's my cousin.
That's your cousin, Mitch.
Yeah.
He gets it in.
That's my cousin. I talked to him in my head before the game, and I knew he was going to go for 71. I said it before the game. I said it before the game. I was like, yo, my cousin. I was like, cousin, go off tonight. You gotta get it right.
Yes, sir.
Bro, you messed up the audio again.
How am I messing up the audio?
Because last time that happened, you left and you came back, and it was fixed.
For real.
Can you please leave the comment?
Mic check. Yeah. Man, every time. What is this?
How did it even? How is he able to trigger such technical difficulties?
I don't know.
See, as soon as he left.
Exactly. Man, I was like, is that echo? What the heck?
Hey, Mitch,
yeah, I was like, yeah, I knew he was gonna go off for 70. I was like, yeah, he about to, my cousin, he about to go off. And then when he got to 60, or when he got to 58, I was like, might as well go for 71 now.
Mitch, what's the most points you ever scored at Murphy? In an organized game?
That's a good question, and I do not know the answer. That is a good question, and I do not know the answer.
You don't remember?
I really don't.
Okay. I just asked Mitch what's the most points he ever scored playing for Murphy basketball. How many did you play for Murphy basketball? Did you, Shane?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever play varsity?
Yes.
What's the most points you ever scored?
What's the most points I ever scored?
Yeah.
You do know I was riding the bench, right?
No, I didn't know. What's the most points you ever scored in an organized basketball game?
I don't know.
I can tell you, mine was 6 points when I was at Transfig. I was on the bench. I was the Malik Rose of CYO basketball. I come off the bench, and I would get my little 6 points, 8 rebounds, 4.6 rebounds. I come in at the end of the game in garbage time, and I get like 4 points and 4 rebounds in 2 minutes or something like that.
Man, the 2002 Transfiguration Eagles, the greatest team in school history. Undefeated in league play.
Mitch.
Beat St. Bernadette twice. Ain't been done in school history. We beat St. Bernadette twice.
Shout out to YMCA.
St. Bernadette had some Murphy guys, Adrian and Youssef and Michael Silva, Andre Joyner.
Never lost. Dre, what happened?
What happened to you, my brother?
Dre, what happened?
Hey, Mitch, I know you had
DJ Kryptonite. That's what happened.
Oh,
Mitch,
shoot. Yeah, no, we had it. We had it
we
both.
had the kryptonite. I know you had a close relationship with Coach Harris. If you guys can believe this, when I was in the 8th grade, I remember we were at like a tournament, Mitch, and I was sitting outside, and I've always been like a huge basketball dude, going way back. Like even back then, guys used to call me Phil Jackson. That was my thing. And we were outside, and I was bouncing the basketball, and Coach Harris told me, he goes, it's a he said, that's some indoor basketball, and I was outside bouncing on the concrete. He told me like twice, and I just kept bouncing the ball, and it's like it didn't compute what he was saying to me, and he almost stepped to me like, what is wrong with this guy? But I remember a few years later, I saw Mitch at Mitch was about to play a game, and I remember Coach was at the game when we were at Murphy, and it was kind of awkward. He didn't, like I was afraid to say anything to him, and he didn't say anything to me. But back then, man, in my playing days, I admit I made some mistakes. I wasn't the perfect player. Me and Coach, we had our issues. You ever had a coach like that? Mitch, you guys just didn't seem to see eye to eye.
Oh man, that's funny.
Mitch, did you?
Huh?
I said, did you ever have a coach like that where you guys just didn't seem to see eye to eye?
Yep.
Nah, not really. Well, actually, Francisco, freshman year.
That's one of them.
One of them. I mean, I've only had Francisco, then Coach, and then Coach Jones. So I've only had 4 coaches. So I mean, I'd say of the 4 coaches, and it's not even like we didn't see. I guess we didn't see eye to eye, but like, Francisco, he was just there to. I mean, it was the freshman team. He was just there to kind of go through the motions, just get us through the games, basically, teach us a little bit, But I mean, it was the freshman team, Coach Harris, loved him. I mean, that was my first year playing organized, so I remember I do have a similar story. It was one time we were practicing in 8th grade, and again, this is my first year playing, and I couldn't get my free throws down. But my mid-range jumper was excellent. So I couldn't figure out, like, man, why am I not hitting my free throws? And then I thought to myself, I was like, well, I mean, whenever I'm taking these mid-range jumpers, I'm always taking it from the elbow. So, uh, so I figure I'm like, well, if I can hit an elbow jumper, why don't I just slide all the way to the right to the elbow and take my free throws from there, and then I'll make them all.
Side note, your free throws cost us a lot of laps.
Well, let me finish my story first.
A lot of laps, man.
So then I go to the corner and I take my free throw and I make it. But Coach Harris, he looks at me and he's like, what in the hell is you doing? And I said, shooting free throws, man. Like, what? Right. He's like, if you don't get in the middle and take your free throws, I was like, all right, my bad. But it's legal. That's legal.
Yeah, there have been a few other guys who are like, didn't Van Exel used to do that, Shane? Some weird stuff like that at the free throw line?
Nick Van Exel stood.
Yeah, well, he would step back to like almost the end of the free throw line and shoot them.
Yeah, he would step back to the back of the semicircle.
Yeah.
The guys who do some weird stuff at the free throw line. Rick Barry shot underhanded.
Right.
I think Wilt used to shoot underhanded too at the free throw line, and Wilt might have done some other weird stuff too at the free throw line. I don't know, but it's been every now and then you'll see that guys have these little weird things that they'll do at the.
Doug Christie used to little kiss.
Oh, Doug Christie. You wouldn't be like that if
the rub his cheek.
The way Doug Christie used to act with Jackie Christie, you wouldn't act like that if you had a woman, would you, Shane?
What?
If you had a woman, would you act like how Doug Christie used to act with Jackie Christie?
I mean, it's not my thing, but I understand why they did it.
Why?
Keep them cheating, man. Because a lot of temptation in the league.
Doug Christie was a good player, but man, that used to drive me crazy. Man, he used to act with his wife.
If it worked for them, man, yeah. But a lot of females just don't care if you take it or not, Joe.
I got a story about Francisco and how we didn't see eye to eye, and this might be like the biggest regret.
Oh Lord,
basketball wise, I have.
You sure you want to share this?
Yeah, for sure. I think it was like a tournament game, and we went out there. It's freshmen, the freshman team. We go out there, we get smashed in the first half. We down 20 at halftime. Francisco looks at us and he's like, you know what, y'all suck. Y'all on your own. I'm not coaching y'all.
I think I remember that.
We all looked around. We looked around at each other and we're like, what? And he legit walked away from us, and he didn't coach. And once we figured out he really wasn't going to coach, we looked at each other and we're like, well, if he's not going to coach us, F it, we'll do it on our own. So yeah, I mean, me, Adrian, Youssef, Herbert, Greg. I mean, like, we went to work and we came back.
And the biggest indictment on him was...
let me finish my story. Stop interrupting me.
Go ahead, do your thing.
On time. Man. So sure enough, we came back. And you know what happens? This fool, we got it within 2 points. And sure enough, this fool all of a sudden wants to come back and coach us. And he's like, all right, cool. Now that we got it close and we can win this game, let me start coaching. And he calls a play for one of the players that wasn't like great at basketball, but Francisco thought he was great at basketball, and he drew up a play for him. And like the regret that I have is like we listened to him and we ran the play, and we ended up losing that game when we should have won if we would have just kept doing what we were doing to get back in the game. But
I think that was his strategy, though. That's like what I think Pat Riley used
to
do.
No.
When they sometimes coaches.
And to add to that, I was already gone by that time, but they used to have to run their own practices. He wouldn't show up to practice, and then when I was there, they were cats that wasn't even showing up to practice, and he would drag to the games and start them. That's what it's like. Oh,
nah, it was even worse than that. Like when he would be at practice, he would take this one player to the other side of the court and just work with him on his shot, and we're just like, he's not even a basketball player. He's a football player. Like, what's happening?
I wonder what he's talking about.
Oh shit.
I don't know. Who is he talking about?
Oh shit.
Yeah. That's my boy though. But wait, I mean,
I think we all wait a second. For his initial,
it's not shots fired. He wasn't a basketball player. He was a football player.
I'm sorry. I love the guy, but were his initials WM?
No. Okay. Will Moran was an animal. Okay. That dude was just an athlete.
I just knew that Will was he was a football player, That seemed like
Will could ball though.
Okay. Yeah, he could ball. Will could ball.
This is
And I'm
turning
not
into a
and I'm not
Daniel
saying
Murphy.
I'm not saying this particular player wasn't like decent at basketball. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, football was his main sport. Basketball was just kind of like a fun thing to do, more so
Yeah.
than
Okay,
like,
well, what? I'm sorry. What were his initials?
You want all the details, bro.
nah, I can't do that.
You want all, yeah, Maciento.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's a off the air type of
right.
that's a
This is
off
all,
the
this
air.
is the stuff we usually type on offer. I don't know why I asked that. Why we? I guess I love to see because Mitchell scored 71. Donovan Mitchell scored 71. I just randomly asked how many points your career high, but yeah, man, I think we.
Shane Murray actually outscored me one game.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah, that's
true.
cap. I never outscored you. That's cap.
No, he did. It's true. This is a true story, Antho.
No, that's cap.
I think this is a joke attached to this, isn't it?
No, there. I have no joke. I had a terrible game. I had 4 points.
You,
Uh,
the
I
only
mean,
game you could be talking about is a Salesian game.
nah.
That's
It was the game against the Australian team. I had
oh
4 points. I had 4 points. We were up big. I took my seat on the bench. Shane Murray comes in. All of a sudden, this fool splashes 2 threes, and he outscored me because he hit 2 threes. I only had 4 points.
oh yeah. Okay, I do. I think I do remember. Yeah, I remember that.
That was the Australia game. Crazy. Wow. It happened. Couldn't be. I mean, it's like, even the sun shines on a dog's ass some days. You feel me? Like it just be like that sometimes.
Mm.
Yeah, and I got some coaching stories. I will bury. People
Shane
like
was taken to the grave.
yeah, I'm bury.
Man, sophomore year, Coach Kyle, he worked with me on my post game. That's why I got so many post moves now. Shout out to Coach Kyle. Man,
Only coach who respected me in high school. So shout out Coach
man.
Kyle.
Coach Kyle was awesome, man. If I wish he could have stuck around so he could have been like an assistant coach, but I mean, Coach
Yeah.
Sawar, he had to go where Coach Sawar went, and since they got rid of Coach Sawar, and then they brought in Coach Jones, I mean, it is what it is. It's the
Did you
politics
guys
of
play for
basketball.
Loftus?
I
Did you
did.
got you play? Did you play for Loftus, Mitch?
I didn't play for Loftus.
Okay.
By the
Did you?
time Loftus started coaching, I was varsity already, so I got Coach Jones for my last 2 years.
And Mr. Real, did you play for Real, Shane? He was the assistant, right?
Yeah, it was just this.
Oh, for Loftus, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great guys. But enough of us talking about stuff that nobody knows what we're talking about, unless they're listening
Man, I
to
can't
You
get my
started it.
Coach Jones story off though.
Go ahead, man.
No,
Coach
no,
Jones
no,
is
you
Why
cannot.
not?
who was Coach
No,
Jones in
because
NBA
he actually
terms, so people
watches.
can understand.
Stop.
Coach Jones was like the
It's
most
not a bad
marginal.
story.
He was like maybe
Yo,
no.
oh yeah, you have to say it off air.
No, let me say it.
Go
No,
ahead, Mitch.
no,
Thank you. Yeah, let me get this one off,
no.
man.
He has too many people in these streets. No, man.
It's a good story though. I think it's
No, no,
hilarious.
no, no, no,
Anyway, I'm gonna get
no,
this one off real quick. Hold on.
no.
All right. So, like I said, right.
Oh
So,
my god.
like, I had Coach Jones for my last 2 varsity years. So,
Nice one.
my junior year, Coach Jones came in, and Coach Jones, he's trying to get his point across that he's trying to uplift our program and take us to the next level and everything, right? So after every time after practice, like we would sit Indian style in front of him, and he would sit on the bench. We would sit on the floor Indian style, and he would give us speeches and everything, trying to give us the game and everything like that, right? So I'll never forget it, man. So I don't know. We might have had like a mediocre practice that day, and he was telling us, he's like, "Yo, like I'm trying to take this program to the next level," and it's like, "Hey, you either going you either gonna jump on this train with me, or you gonna ride a donkey. Donkey is slow," and he said it just like that, right? And it's like, in that pause, we all looked at each other and we're like, like, and like I think he noticed us looking at each other, and he went to further explain himself, and he's like, because donkey slow. It's like, no, we got it. It's just it was just such a random like it was just such a random like
And
metaphor.
let
We
me
were
clean
like,
this up with a classic story when
hold on,
Hot Sauce
let me
came
stop
to see us
interrupting
play.
me. Listen, this is the last time
No.
you interrupt me. Hold on.
We
No,
running out of time.
Let me
I
finish
have
my
to clean
story.
that up. So Hot
I'm about
Sauce
to, listen, I'm
and one
about to clean it
mixtape
up. Shut up.
came
Shut
to
up.
see
Shut
us.
up. Shut up.
Almost out of
Anyway,
time, Shane.
let me finish my story. Good Lord, man. What is you? Don't you have any manners? Good Lord.
I'm sorry, Messy Mitchell. My mistake. Forgive me, Messy Mitchell.
Shut up. Gosh. So anyway,
Yes.
the whole point of it is like, it's not even about Coach Jones. It's about, hey man, RIP to my boy Chance. Because like I said, so like the whole team looked at each other. And I immediately look at Chance because Chance is the captain of the team. So as soon as he says donkey slow, I look at Chance and Chance starts laughing. So I was like, oh, it must be okay to laugh then, because if Chance laugh, we can all laugh. So Chance started laughing. We all start laughing after we see Chance laughing, and then Coach Jones laughing and everything. I mean, it's really no point in this story other than to say RIP to Chance, man.
RIP to Chance Loomis.
It was just hilarious.
RIP to Chance.
RIP to Kyle Jackson. RIP to Michael Presley.
Yep.
RIP to Aaron Katz.
Yep.
And
Yep.
Anybody else from Murphy who passed away who I don't know about, rest in peace. Shane, very quickly, the hot sauce story. You got 2 minutes, brother.
Well, I'll get 2 minutes, and you told a messy ass story.
I like to keep these under an hour.
Yeah, whatever. But anyway, classic story. Coach Jones brought out hot sauce. To see us play. Then after the game, me and a few other players got to guard him. He didn't cross me, but it was fun guarding him. You know what I'm saying? It was good meeting, N1 legend at the time. But he did not cross me. And I'm leaving it at that.
Who he did cross? You know who he did cross though, right?
Who?
He crossed Adrian Nasty.
We're gonna start this now. I'm gonna text Adrian. We're gonna start this next episode. Adrian,
there's no shame in that. It was hot sauce.
Yeah, it's funny because I was just watching. It was hot sauce was on it was on TNT with Shaq and Barkley and Kenny weren't there, but Isaiah and BD Baron Davis were on there, and hot sauce was on there, and they had him go up against Underdog. He put Underdog on the floor, bro. It was pretty funny. But shout out to hot sauce and Ali Mo and all the N1 guys, main event, man. We grew up on them. We loved them. The professor, all those guys, bro. Skip to
and shout out to Herbert because he made sure we were the only squad to have Michael Buffer announce our game.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
We were introduced by the great Michael Buffer.
Mitch,
epic.
Don't you? Okay, I gotta close this thing out. Mitch, you got something to say to Herbert, don't you?
Yeah, and Herbert's been calling me all day, and I know he legit. He's been calling me, texting me. He's like, "Hey, man, I'm trying to, and I'm like, dude, all right, for real. I'll do what I can do." Unfortunately, we had so many stories to tell that we ran out of time. So Herbert, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. Maybe next week, but unfortunately, this week we once again have ran out of time. Sorry, Herbert.
Sorry, Herbert. All right, so before we get out of here, just a few reminders. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button next to the Complete Lakers podcast. If you prefer the audio version, remember to rate, review, and subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts. The show is also on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and every other major podcatcher. Make sure to follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at TC Pod Network and to like it on Facebook. Just search for the Complete Lakers podcast. And finally, send feedback and mailback questions to CompleteLakersPodcast@gmail.com. We are out.